Yo, it's your boy Lou coming back at it again with another discussion video. Ash Ketchum has had many battles over the years, and his win percentage up until before Pokemon Journeys was a whopping 73%. With that knowledge, it's clear to see that Ash has won a large percentage of the battles that he participates in, but he also has had his fair share of losses too. If we look at his best region by win percentage, it's actually the Johto region, where he boasts a whopping 80% win rate. His worst performing region thus far was actually the Sinnoh region, where he had a 65% win rate. So, in this video, I want to take a look at the top 10 battles that Ash Ketchum lost. Now, in order to determine the top 10 battles that he lost, I will take these factors into consideration. How was the battle? Was it fun to watch? To me, a blowout loss isn't as fun to watch, just like a landslide victory isn't either. I love it when the battles make it to the last Pokemon on each side with one Pokemon barely clinging onto their last hit point for the victory. Those are the best. Did Ash learn something from his defeat? Another great thing about losing sometimes is the experiences you can gain from it. A lot of times losing teaches you a lot more lessons than winning ever can. For example, when I lose a match in Pokemon Unite or on Showdown, I like to reflect on my match and think about a few things that I could have done different to avoid the loss. In this instance, I wanted to look at the losses and see if Ash learned from his mistakes and bounced back in the next battle. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, I highly suggest you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, since it helps out the channel a whole bunch and it's free. With all that out of the way, let's get started with my number 10 choice. Man, they really just didn't want Ash to win the Indigo League. This makes sense since it was his first league conference, but they could have at least made the battle a little more fair. Ritchie is basically an Ash clone down from his design all the way to the Pokemon that he uses in battle. Before the top 16 could begin, Ash is out dealing with Team Rocket, who is delaying him from getting to the stadium. Fast forward some shenanigans and Ash makes it onto the battlefield with a completely worn out Pidgeotto who is now unable to battle, despite being one of his strongest Pokemon at this point and at least one who would listen to him. Pikachu was also panting from the altercation, implying he was not ready to battle either. Well, fast forward to the battle and Ritchie sending out Butterfree, who puts Squirtle to sleep, and the judge calls that a knockout. Now that's just some Tauros shit. The rest of this battle is extremely lackluster and ultimately ends with Charizard costing Ash just because he refused to listen to his commands. What a way to lose a top 16. Ash had everything stacked against him and I find it completely unfair. I wouldn't be as mad if they wrote a fair loss to give him, but this was just completely unbalanced. I find this to be one of the most overrated reasons why people dislike Ash, if I'm being honest. In Black and White Episode 1, in the Shadow of Zekrom, Trip challenged our boy Ash to a battle with his newly acquired Snivy. As you can imagine, Trip won this battle and a lot of people were angry. A lot of people seem to gloss over the fact that going to the Unova region was a soft reset for Ash, kind of like when the games were first introduced, and they wanted a fresh take on everything by making it so you can only catch Unovan Pokemon. Another huge factor that led to this defeat was the fact that Pikachu literally couldn't use any electric type moves. Sure, it was dumb that he lost regardless, but he did have reasons as to why he did lose. This one ranks very low on my list just because at the end of the region, Ash got the last laugh. No. Team Rocket is more known for their losses to Ash, but this time they actually won. In episode 12 of the Sun and Moon anime, in a battle with Ash, who only had Pikachu and Rowlet, Team Rocket had access to Mareanie, Meowth, Wobbuffet, and Mimikyu. Wow, I just realized that all of their Pokemon except Wobbuffet start with the letter M.
You got it set to M for Mini, when it should be set to W for Wumbo.
Despite the obvious unfairness at that, Team Rocket didn't use any cheating tactics, since the battle was actually basically only battled with Mareanie and Mimikyu. Since we are looking at this from Ash's perspective and the impact it had on him, this is very low on the list, and getting beat by someone that brought more Pokemon than you to the battle, more on that later. It was still very fun to see Team Rocket win, and the looks on their faces when they finally pulled it off was priceless. If you're a real one and follow a lot of the content that I've posted on the channel over the year, then you probably know that I'm a huge fan of Harrison. Well, what to say, Ash's battle with Harrison was a great one for the Silver Conference top 8. Ash just came off an epic victory with his long-term rival Gary in the top 16, just to get pitted against his newly formed rival with Harrison. He had met up with Harrison a few episodes prior to the league starting, in which he saw him catch a Sneasel, which was then used in their battle together. I wish I could rate this battle higher, as when I was a kid I absolutely loved this battle, and I was super drawn to Harrison as a character for some reason. It's just that there's nothing important to be gained from this battle. Ash placed higher than he did in the previous conference, and then the opponent he lost to ended up losing in the next round to a random character who won the whole tournament. Goes to show that they did my boy Harrison dirty. At least Harrison was a plot device that led Ash into going to Hoenn the following season. From one of his losses in the league to the very next loss. I promise not everything on this list will be league losses. Tyson was another character that we got introduced to right before the start of the Evergrande Conference. Of course, he is iconic because of his Puss in Boots Meowth, who was his partner Pokemon. This was a very good battle, coming down to the last Pokemon on both sides being their respective partner Pokemon. But we had Tyson's Meowth overpower Pikachu's with a Thunderbolt of his own. Let that sink in. A normal type Meowth did more damage with his electric type move than a Pikachu did. If that's not enough, he also had Iron Tail, just proving that he was a superior version of Pikachu for the season. What made this loss a little more respectable, if you will, is that Tyson did go on to win the league, and they didn't let a random character take the victory. I hate you, John Dixon. Here's another person that caused Ash to lose in his respective league conference just to end up winning the rest of the tournament. The circumstances are quite different here though. In this famous battle, Ash was put against odds like we haven't seen before, as Tobias literally pulled up with a Darkrai and a Latios. Tobias had earned all his badges and won all his previous rounds with only the use of his Darkrai, so the moment that Sapphire finally knocked it out was simply incredible. Then finally Pikachu ended up knocking out Latios while he himself got knocked out. However, it stands that this battle was so fun and proved that just because everyone else lost to one of his strongest Pokemon, Ash tried his best and knocked out 2 legendary Pokemon. To make it even better for Ash, Tobias went on to win the rest of the tournament with only his Darkrai, making Ash the only person who was able to knock it out during the Diamond and Pearl series. That was such a fun match to watch despite how obviously lopsided it was. Brandon is one of the few trainers to have beaten Ash more than once. Can you name the others? Let me know in the comments below. Granted, the first time Ash was possessed, but I'll still count it. Brandon was such an incredible obstacle for Ash in my opinion, and the battles they had were incredibly fun to watch, even if Ash did win the third time. We had seen Ash's Charizard being extremely powerful during this arc and even defeating Nolan's Articuno, but it was taken down by Brandon's Dusclops. Brandon is an amazing trainer and mentor that later showed up in the Diamond and Pearl series being just as strong as ever and helping develop both Ash and Paul's character. Here's another throwback battle all the way back to the original series. In this battle with his third gym, Ash got dealt with a terrible loss at the hands of Ritchie. Despite literally winning his first 2 badges in, let's just say, an unorthodox way, Ash went into this battle extremely overconfident and got annihilated because of it. This battle showed an early Ash that evolving his Pokemon was not always the best option to make your Pokemon stronger like it is in the games. In the anime, any Pokemon, no matter their evolution stage, can be a formidable battler if trained right and or has an awesome strategy to go with it. We got the refusal of Pikachu with the Thunderstone and thus solidifying it as one of anime's most iconic mascots, period. The redemption battle was also very fun and it was great to see Ash win his first badge the legit way. I really like Sawyer and it helps that he's from the Hoenn region, which is where my favorite character is from. Sawyer was one of Ash's main rivals throughout the Kalos region and was introduced later into the series overall. In fact, when he first appeared, Ash had already attained 6 of his badges. What makes Sawyer cool is that he had a Pokemon that Ash once had as well, and he actually looked up to Ash and wanted Ash to be his rival and not the other way around. Ash beat Sawyer in battle many times, but then finally they had a 3-on-3 battle where Sawyer came out on top. Not only did he beat Ash, but he also beat Ash Greninja with his Mega Sceptile. To me, it was crazy to see that Sawyer was actually able to go and beat Ash after many attempts, and it proved that his note-taking and different approach to battling was just as legit as anyone else's. In my opinion, this loss really opened up Ash's eyes with the Lumiose conference fast approaching and got him to train more seriously. Finally, up first we have Alain. Man, I've spoken a lot about him recently. This is the 3rd video within the last 2 weeks that he's in. Well, it helps that his character and design are both really freaking cool, and his last battle with Ash was genuinely amazing. I went and rewatched this episode a couple times, and I just genuinely really liked the battle between Charizard and Greninja a whole lot. It also has the meaning that no matter how strong Ash is and how strong we think he is, there's always going to be someone stronger than him. This also wasn't a Tobias case where he showed up seemingly just to beat Ash, but rather someone who we got great backstory for, and there's a good reason as to why he is as strong as he is. Alain is someone who I think can be coming back to Pokemon real soon, so please click the card above to see why I think so. So yeah, those are my top 10 battles that Ash Ketchum lost. I would love for you to tell me how wrong I am in the comments below because we all know that my opinion is wrong. I mean, Harrison should have obviously been a #1 pick, right? Please let me know what other trainers that Ash lost to and that I didn't mention were really awesome battles and one that Ash had learned something from in the comments below. I'm really proud of this video, so if you guys enjoyed it, I would strongly urge you to click the like button and subscribe if you haven't already, as that helps out the whole channel a whole lot and lets me know that you appreciate the content. If you made it this far into the video, then you can go ahead and comment Harrison will return so that I know you're a real one. Thank you again for watching and making it to the end. It's been your boy Luap, and I'm out. Peace.